Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Handle lights and teddy bears, I'm trying to leave your block romantic. Flicking off the hip, I leave a scene looking like I'm dancing. Ain't one Westworld, best believe we not gon' stand big titties on a drum to stick. You're looking outstanding. Rip his top with the hands of the Lord, call that God tears. Send a spear right to the sky and watch his front tears. I'm that nigga cause I run with them niggas, so let's get that clear. Don't question who say I'm the GOAT. I tell them God did. To be the best, you gotta beat the best. To me, that's suicide. Of course I sound cocky to a glizzy eater, fuck your pride. Don't need a horoscope to see I'm a star, so fuck your sign. You can believe in anything you want, but as for me and mine, God mode. I am what I am, so let's just keep in mind. Don't wanna be like Kyrie, they wanna be like I. She said she lost until she found me, and then she found a tribe, and then I make a bout face until she called me out of wine. The weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for it. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for it. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. All time, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problems, and I'm standing behind you. Stepping with style, I'm standing on shit in my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all throw in the towel. Half moon with a silencer, make it sound like a howl. We the shit, we about movements with a growl. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back wet with a smile, nigga. I'm an Israelite rapper, nigga. Would never hit his wife, but I go at you. I make commitments to a gun if I'm talking about a tantrums. Nigga said he a stand-up dude, that mean we laughing, nigga. Jumped on the beat, start snapping, you leaving fractures. Red and green bean, I'm Gucci, you thinking fashion. Dad go shoot for the green, and I ain't talking St. Patrick. You screaming all lives, I'm screaming all guns matter. Keep it biblical, talking in parables, cause it matter. If I say bring Jake up, I'm talking about a ladder. He was the wave till I came with the fire, no John the Baptist. Who cared you did it first? You should be worried about who after. I'm connected in any habitat, shit I adapted. Nose job on a brand new snub is all plastic. Why I show up the court with jeans on, I'm never slacking. You a rapper turned Israelite, I'm an Israelite rapping. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for it. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. Weapons of our warfare is not carnal, I was born in it. You converted, this is not for you. Leave an imprint of my legacy with a spot for it. No way you can endure to the end if you not loyal. All time, no questions asked, we come and find you. His problems, my problem. Stepping with style, I'm sleeping on shit in my product. I take on the crowd, tell them all throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Heavy is the head with the crown, when I take it I'm proud. I get the order, bring my sword back wet with a smile, nigga. When Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make war. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it, feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the beast loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Still against all enemies. In high school, you was the man, that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing, dog, I plan to keep. You lose your mind where I'm from, I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul, losing times, wasting steady pacing. You off track, I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping he can save you. But there's power by war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason, got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest, they gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One West world, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains, so when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire, when you hear it, you get baptized. One West World, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down so the haters see the glow glow. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in they face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we half, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, this the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Right, Shalom Israel, this is the Isupk. We started in 1 West Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. And we teach. And we teach. Started in 1 West Harlem, New York. Slakia. Under Commander General Yohana. And we teach the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they are the true children of the Bible and that we got to follow these laws in order to get back to heaven. Now, the first scripture I want to go to is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. Let me get there real quick. Go ahead, you read it when you got it.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Written for our what?
For our learning.
Go ahead.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
You hear that, Israel? That we might have hope. This is why we read the Bible, because it was written aforetime. It's been around for thousands of years, since Exodus, since Genesis, when Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was walking the earth, since Adam was walking the earth. These laws, statutes, and commandments have been there since that time, and we are to follow these laws better than anything else that this planet will give us. You know what I'm saying? Give it again for me, please.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right, that we might have hope. While I break that down, can you give me Matthews 15 and verse 9? Baba Shah. See, that we might have hope. We place our hope in the Bible and to God our Father, to God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, the Christians don't put their hope in that. They put their hope in white Jesus. You know what I mean? God loves everybody. They break every law there is, but God loves them no matter what they do. You can be a homosexual, you can smoke crack, you can be a slut, you can be a whore. It doesn't matter what you are, what you do. I remember watching this video. This Edomite walked inside his church, confessed to molesting children, and walked right out. Nobody stopped him. Nobody, you know what I mean, was like, hold up, man, you got to go to prison or something. They just let it happen. They just walked right out. And to my surprise, I was like, damn, you know what I mean? They just let this rapist, he's been raping children, you know what I mean? And he just walked out like nothing happened. And that's what Christianity is all about. You can just go in, you can do whatever you want for 50 plus years, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Go get dunked in water, get baptized, confess your sins, and that's all you have to do. That's what Christians believe, and that is incorrect. You got that scripture for me, Paul?
Sir, and that was Matthew 15 and 4, correct?
15 and verse 9.
15 and verse 9, Salakia. The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 9. But in vain.
In what?
But in vain.
In vain. Go ahead.
They do worship me.
Who are they worshiping in vain? Christ, the Messiah, God. It's vain worship. You know what I mean? Christmas is vain worship. They're not doing it for God. Your birthday is vain worship. You're not doing it because you thanking God that you're alive this today. You are going out there partying on your birthday because you want to be a star, because you're a selfish woman or a selfish man. Go ahead.
Teaching for doctrines, the commandments of men.
The commandments of men. And the commandment of men we're going to get into is we're going to talk about fornication and the laws on sex. Because what the Christian church teaches is completely wrong. When I was growing up, they said you can't have no sex. You can't touch no woman. You know what I mean? And the people that was teaching me that, guess what they were doing the whole time? Having sex. See, it's kind of weird, you know what I mean? Because Christians will teach something. That's why Christians are the biggest hypocrites. You know what I mean? They'll teach you something, but they're not following it. You know what I mean? I was speaking to a young brother like 3 months ago. I invited him to come to class. I mean, he was a Christian. He's talking about how the Isupk teach wrong and stuff like that. So I asked him, I said, what do you teach? He says, well, I teach this and that. You know what I mean? But then he goes on to say how he knows he's a sinner. In the back of my mind, I'm like, so you know you're sinning, but you're teaching people the Bible. That's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? First of all, you're teaching people the wrong stuff anyway. And then you're teaching them stuff that you're not even doing. Mind blows. That thing blow my mind every time. So let's look at what sex is. Exodus 22:16, Baba Kashaw. I was surprised. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, ever since I came into the Isupk, when I look at these breakdowns, I just get blown away each time I read them, because I've never read any of this inside the Bible. I wasn't taught anything like this ever in my life. You got that for me, sir?
Con, sir. The book of Exodus, chapter 22, verse 16.
Go ahead.
And if a man entice.
What does entice mean? Go ahead.
So, to my understanding, that would be, in layman's terms, in this, like, kind of like spitting game,
right? You
know, to a sister, like a woman of marriageable age,
right? You know what I mean? So that's all enticing is. You see a nice, beautiful woman that's unmarried, that doesn't have a man. Let's make that clear. You know what I mean? That's who you should be talking to, and make sure she's a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. Don't talk to no heathens. We'll get into that later. They will be your downfall. You know what I mean? So you might see a beautiful sister on the street. You might holler at her. You know what I mean? Or, you know, Esau, they call it cat calling. I ain't never called that. That sounds weak to me. I don't know. I just call it holler at a chick. You know what I mean? I'll talk my shit to her. Go ahead, continue.
And if a man entice a maid,
right,
that is not betrothed,
go ahead,
and lie with her,
and does what?
And lie with her.
Right. So after you seduce this woman, you know what I mean? Because you're a Black, Hispanic man, a Native Indian man, you got game. It's just, you know what I mean? The stuff we say is natural. You know what I mean? That women like to hear it. Go ahead.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
Right. He shall surely endow her to be his wife. So this shows that sex is the marriage. You know what I mean? And once you have sex with that person, you are locked in forever. And you can only get a divorce if only by fornication. And fornication can only happen, fornication can only happen if a woman steps out on her man, meaning she goes out and has sex with another man.
Right.
And for a brother, if he goes out and has sex with a woman that is married, not another single woman.
Right. Damn right.
Can you give me Matthew's 18 and verse 9? Yes, sir.
And that's a important point that you just brought up, because the education of America has taught us so wrong and so backwards, and it's rightfully so that you're teaching this class tonight, that to get us in. Go on the right paths, on that straight path, you know what I mean? And teach us the truth of what the Most High says marriage is, sex is, and so forth and so on, what adultery is, and all these different definitions that the Christian church has absolutely, like you said, rightfully so, destroyed. You understand? Because they teach lies. They want to keep our people in bondage, keep our people bound in sin. You understand? Because they only are after their own bellies. You understand? They just want that tithe plate to keep going around, that offering plate keep going around and getting it filled up. You know what I mean? They'll say whatever they need to say to get that offering plate filled up, to get them seats keep getting filled up, so that they can itch some ears of the congregation, so that they can say and not expose their sin.
Exactly.
That they are enwrapped in.
Right.
Sluts.
The water, sir. Appreciate the comment. You got that verse for me, Claw?
The book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 9.
Slakia, 19 and 9.
19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication.
Except it be for what?
Be for fornication.
For fornication. Go ahead.
And shall marry another. Committed adultery.
Committed adultery. Stop right there. So if you put your wife away and it's not for fornication, like say, oh, she yelled at you, you know what I mean? You don't like the way your wife talked to you, you know what I mean? Because you're not strong enough to put her in a place. So you'd be like, damn, you know what I mean? I can't deal with this mouth no more. I'm gonna leave you and go get a woman that, you know what I mean, is a little quieter. When you don't know how to choose women anyway, because you picked this dragon, you're gonna pick an even more dragon than the one you had last time. You know what I mean? You should learn how to control that woman and control her mouth, not abusing her. Now we don't abuse women here, but to put her in her place. You know what I mean? And that's how you'll probably handle it. You know what I mean? You do not divorce her unless it's fornication. Continue, please.
And shall marry another, committed adultery.
The Most High just said that you committed adultery. Now, I know the Christian church is always divorcing and marrying, divorcing and marrying, divorcing and marrying. And it's like a cycle. Every 3 to 5 years, you go in there and get married, then you go and get divorced. You get married, then you get divorced. And it's a never-ending cycle. And you guys are divorcing each other, and it's not for fornication. And I've heard so many excuses, not just from women, but from men, from some brothers as well. I'm like, man, you got to do better to your wife. I'm like, sis, you got to do better for your husband. You know what I mean? And this is why the family structure is broken up. Go ahead.
Salakia. And whosoever marrieth her which is put away doth commit adultery.
Damn. So if you marry a woman that was put away, you commit adultery. Yo, that's crazy to me. I've like I say to y'all all the time, I've barely read these scriptures when I was in the Christian church. Just think about when you're out there in the world. You know what I mean? I'm pretty, like, one time I was in the world, you go to a house party or something, you know what I mean? You might link with a girl that night. She might link with another brother that night. You know what I mean? That's like passing women around unbeknownstly. Listen, man, thank God for protecting me, man. What is bond? You know what I mean? That's just how it is, you know what I mean? You got to stay safe out here. But just like we read before, you know what I mean? How we are exposing the lies of the Christian church. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
We are teaching you the doctrines and commandments of men. That's a man-made doctrine that you can go and have sex with a woman. I mean, you could go and marry a woman and get a divorce for whatever reason you want.
Right.
It comes from the Romans. It comes from Esau. You know what I mean? We already know that there are sick and perverse people. Go ahead.
Sir, and the point that you're bringing out is so heavy. And, you know, one of the things that I see, you know, with that being said, is that we have taken this oppressor's culture and turned it into law.
Right.
Like, we actually go to the oppressor to get a piece of paper, and nowhere in the scriptures have I ever seen that for you to go to this man and get a piece of paper that says you're married. That piece of paper is everything to them.
Yeah.
And nothing at the same time, because you can just rip it up and go get another one.
Damn right.
Essentially. So
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, I was talking to my little brother. His rib wanted him to get married. You know what I mean? And this was before I even know he was like watching the classes. But he told me he watched a class from like 2-3 years ago when like Officer Mataziala and Officer Dacium, they was doing a class on marriage. You know what I mean? He almost got that paper, but he said, look, I don't need this piece of paper to show you that I love you.
right.
You know what I mean? And she's pressuring him. She's pressuring him trying to do it. I'm like, I'm like, Devin, now you are, I'm like, Devin, you your own man. You know what I mean? You do what's best for you, but I wouldn't do it. And I mean, let them know I wouldn't do it. The scripture says you don't need that. I said, you sleep with that, that's your rib. You know what I mean? And so I'm always coaching my little brother.
Camera's tracking for some reason.
He's tracking me. Oh, you gotta do something like this and it'll go up.
Nah, you just use the remote on the camera and it just
Slocky.
hand signals activate that automatically tracking.
All right, I'll try to keep my hands down a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll be. I'm not sure.
Okay, that's what
But yeah, I'm always talking to my little brother about the scriptures, you know what I mean? Because it's such an amazing thing that my little brother is following his word, you know what I mean?
Right.
And let's get where all the laws of sex go. Can you give me Leviticus chapter 18, Baba Kishar?
Sir, Leviticus 18.
Yes, sir. Leviticus 18, man. I'm trying to tell you, this is why I love the Most High, man. He puts everything in plain perspective. You don't gotta guess what to do, what not to do. You know what I mean? And he gives because a lot of people don't understand what fornication is. People think fornication is having sex without being married first, and that's not it. Fornication essentially is I want to put it as sex crimes against the Most High. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds a little bit crazy, you know what I mean? But that's exactly what it is. In the book of Leviticus 18, it discusses all the lawful and unlawful things we can do concerning sex. You know what I mean? Like I said before, in the Christian church, I was never taught this. And this is why Romans 15:4 says for the things in the old time, Slakia, I'm paraphrasing, you know what I mean, is written down for our learning. This is why it's so important. Leviticus chapter 18.
The book of Leviticus, starting at verse 1.
Yes, sir.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel.
To who?
Unto the children of Israel.
Right? The children of Israel get these laws, not no other nation. So I don't expect Esau to understand this from Moab, you know what I mean? Especially in African, whatever they do in those huts, you know what I mean? Those fly traps they live in. Now, I don't know what they do down there. You know what I mean? Whatever laws they want to go to, however they have sex with their women, you know what I mean? Or they freak nasty stuff. Go ahead.
And say unto them, I am the Lord your God.
Right.
After the doings of the land of Egypt, where ye dwelt,
right,
shall ye not do.
Right. He says, don't do after those Egyptians, because the Lord knows. Listen, shout out to Captain Tazariak for battling all those LGBTQ Egyptologists. You know what I mean?
They call Egypt swallow.
Egypt swallowists. That's tough. I know we all seen the picture at Geb. Listen, right. When I seen that picture at Geb, I was like, whoa, that is not a picture I want on my wall. You know what I mean? That better not have that. Go ahead.
Salakia, if I could, after seeing it for so long, because I was one of those people who was listening to the conscious community before I knew anything about ISUBK.
Right.
And then and now it's completely different with having the wisdom. That's why people really should get in class, because that conscious community will have you really seduced and not understanding anything about life, what you should be doing as far as your women. And if I could just make one point, speaking of like sexual immorality and those like you kind of like say sex crimes against the Most High, right? You have people like what's the dude's name that's going to be on trial out of the conscious community? He was like their biggest star. Brother Polite.
Yeah.
That's you have people like him, and then you follow. You know, as Black people, we follow these leaders that don't have a sense of morality that is governed by the Most High, and then come to find out, people like him, Africa Bambaataa, you know, they're just stinking child molesters.
That's all they are.
So, what should we be doing as far as like our spiritual leaders? We should find people that got the morality.
Exactly.
And you breaking it down heavy with these scriptures about how we should govern ourselves.
Just appreciate it. I mean, we all think that Commander Jonayana is that leader that we all need and that we all, the Black people need.
That's right.
I'll vote for him. Listen, Jonayana for president. I don't know when the next election is, but listen, man, we need to put him up there. Man. I mean, he needs to lead this nation. I mean, because once he leads this nation, everything will be okay. You know what I mean? Because he follows the Most High.
Right.
And Paul said, follow me as I follow the Most High. So I'm going to follow Commander Jonayana and Isupk and the men that he placed in power, these different regions, all these cities. He's placed them there, and we will follow the men above me. You know what I mean? That's the rank order we go, and everything will be okay. You know what I mean? And then you have 12 Shield General Muhammad to give you all the advice you need. You know what I mean? If you even decide to take it, I mean, if you even listen to the council, but he knows psychology, and I love listening to him break down the classes. But anyway, let's get back to Leviticus 18.
We left off at verse 3. I can start from the top of 3 if you like.
Let's skip down to verse 7.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, verse 7. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover.
Right.
She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
You hear that? He says, you don't look at your mother naked. And or your father. I've seen so many different things online, and I see women how they dress. They wear like tight yoga pants, you know what I mean? They wear that around their children, you know what I mean? And they'll wear just a bra or like a sports bra, and they walk around the house like that. I'm like, man, listen, your son shouldn't be looking at you like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he should be seeing you as you want him to see a woman he sees, you know what I mean? What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't know. I don't have any kids yet, so I really don't know. Like, you shouldn't look at your mother as like a prostitute. Like, she shouldn't look like a prostitute.
Right.
You know what I mean? She should look like a classy woman, fully clothed. You know what I mean? You shouldn't see the outline of her shape so vividly. Go ahead, sir.
But is it sexual object is what you're looking for? The word you're looking for?
I want to say like yeah, we could say that. Like, yeah. It's like a sexual object. Like, he shouldn't see you like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the Slock, if I may, that's the wickedness of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
This nation have no moral compass. You know what I mean? They have no shame. They are shameless, and what they do with their even with their the swimsuit culture and all that type of stuff, exposing all the nakedness. And that's why it's so good that you're going into these scriptures tonight, so that our people know that we are held to a higher standard.
Right.
We are held to a higher regard by the Most High, and we are not to be like these other nations that are around about us. They were put here to test us, to see whether we will serve the Most High or not. Right. You understand? And a lot of times our people fall victim to succumbing to the envy of the oppressor and choosing their ways instead of choosing our ways. You know what I mean? And they trim their ways to seek the oppressor's love, to seek the oppressor's approval, and everything like that. And all those scriptures are in the Bible. You understand? And this is a heavy point that you're bringing out. Just lucky.
The water said, thank you very much. All right. So Leviticus chapter 18, that was just one verse where I wanted to show y'all I mean, there's a whole list of everything of do's and don'ts. You know what I mean? Like, don't sleep with your sister, don't look at your brother and stuff like that, and close family members. So you want to get that the full understanding. And Leviticus 18 shows you exactly what fornication is. And it's never a man sleeping with another single woman and then getting another single woman. I mean, that's not in there. That is lawful. And for you women that have a man, right, and you don't like what he's doing, so you break up with him, divorce, or however you want to call it, and go get another man, you are committing adultery according to the Most High. You know what I mean? Can you give me Deuteronomy 7:3, Baba Kashar?
Sir, one moment. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his son,
Right.
nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
Exactly. Hold that verse, you know what I mean? Because we're gonna go back to that. I jumped a little ahead. Salaka, y'all. I jumped a little ahead. Can you give me 1 Corinthians 11:3?
Sir.
You know what I mean? So now, since we're talking about marriage, sex, you know what I mean? So there is a proper order that the Most High has laid down for us. You know what I mean? Proper ranking order inside the family structure. You got that for me, Cole?
And that was 1 Corinthians 7:3?
11:3.
Oh, 11:3?
Yes.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
Right?
and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Read that for me one time from the top.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
The head of who?
The head of every man is Christ.
The head of man is Christ. Christ is our head.
Damn right.
We got to answer to Christ. You know what I mean? That's a whole different level of responsibility, women. We answer to Christ. And for you brothers that don't understand that, you know what I mean? Listen, you better understand it. Keep on watching these classes. You'll understand what exactly that means. Keep going.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man. If you have a man at home, he is your head.
Right.
That's it. And as the head, and as your head, you listen to us and everything we say. You know what I mean? You do things that we tell you to do. That's just how it goes. You know what I mean? If you have a problem with it, take it up with Eve. That's your fault. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? That was Eve's punishment. Keep going.
And the woman, or Salakia, and the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. So there is a complete order of everything that you need to know. For my next verse, we go to Ecclesiastes 7:26.
Ecclesiastes.
Yes, it's not the Bible. Yeah, not the Apocrypha, but the Bible. You know what I mean?
One moment.
This is so heavy, man. Because I know a lot of y'all women think y'all the head. I know y'all do. You feel powerful in this kingdom. Looking down on men, man bashing, and saying you don't need a man. Wait till war happens. You'll be asking for a man then. When the nigga come in and break down your door, and you sitting there looking dumb, you know what I mean? You got this big house, 4-story house, just you in there, full of food and all your expensive items that you got up in there. That's just food for the mob. That's all it is. That's just food for the mob. You're going to get robbed, and you're going to get spoiled, raped, possibly raped. Go ahead, sir.
Con, like it's a lot, but that's a heavy point. What you just brought back out right there about the ambitions and what these women these days look to and desire to have. They desire to have exactly what you just said. Instead of the protection of a man, they think that their safety is in having a house and having a career and having this and that material things instead of that's what Satan wants. That's what the devil wants. That's what our enemy, our oppressor wants. Our oppressor wants our women to be weak, because he knows once that strong man is out of their mind, he can go in and spoil that house. You understand? Because and they implant that early into our women. You know what I mean? Seek your career, seek your wellness, seek your everything that makes you happy.
Right.
You understand? Don't worry about that man. You know what I mean? And when push comes to shove, that man is what's going to be the one to protect you and to guide you in righteousness. You know what I mean? And that's the order, like you just bringing out, that the Most High set up in 1 Corinthians 11:3. That's the Most High that set that order up, so that we can have our own culture, our own government, our own body, our own way, our own heritage. You know what I mean? And it's so happy that you're bringing that out on how to separate from this oppressor, from this devil. You know what I mean? Because he have warped and just absolutely destroyed the minds of our people.
Wow. Excellent point, sir. You know what I mean? And that's just the truth. You know what I mean? Like, because these doctrines are devils, man. Like, our people is being taught the wrong stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And it's so much value in having a man at the house that can protect you.
Right.
You should want to go to work for him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, because, and I keep trying to tell you, when push comes to shove, like, you're not going to stop 5 men from attacking you. Like, they going to look at you and look like this is easy right here. You know what I mean? This is an easy target right here. But you put just one man in there, just one brother in there, they're going to rethink their strategy. You know what I mean? They're going to have some fear in there. You know what I mean? They're going to look at you like, we got to take care of him first, then go to the woman. You know what I mean? But y'all don't want a righteous man to be over you. I don't know what to say. I mean, you don't want no righteous brother to be over you. You know what I mean? Got that verse for me?
And that was Ecclesiastes
7
and
26. Yeah.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman.
The death of who?
The woman.
Right.
Whose heart is snares and nets.
Whose hearts is snares and nets. We all know a woman like this, man. Hearts is snares and nets. Stay away from her. Keep going.
And her hands as bands.
Oh my God.
Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
Right. It says whose hands are bands. You know what I mean? She gonna lock you. She gonna put you on, lock you up, man. She says her hands are bands. When she goes in for that hug, she's smelling good and stuff. Boy, she got you already wrapped up in there, man. She got you. She snares and nets. Go ahead.
It's lucky. I done seen a couple brothers go through it. Where they just so misinformed and without wisdom, you try to tell them and they just don't get it. And then when you try to tell them about the Bible and how they can have morality, they don't want to hear it. They end up with it double. Because I saw it happen to a brother I've tried to talk to about this type of stuff. And I can't even begin to speak of the stuff I seen him go through.
Damn.
This is heavy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it says she's nothing but snares and nets. That don't sound like a good time to me. I don't know, man. Y'all out here be picking hoes. God says they're nothing but snares and nets. You know what I mean? I don't know. Y'all should rethink going to strip clubs sometimes. You know what I mean? Don't go there and find a woman. You know what I mean? Oh, wait. Keep going. Oh, wait.
20.
Oh, Slakia. Read where it says, who pleases God shall escape her.
Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her.
It says, who shall please of God shall escape from her. Only a righteous man is going to escape a hoe. I'm sorry to let you know. You know what I mean? And that's sometimes even priests fall. You know what I mean? There's plenty of examples in the Bible. Adam, you know what I mean? What it say? He hearkened to the voice of his wife. He fell. We got David, you know what I mean? He was looking at Bathsheba. What's that her name, right?
It
was Bathsheba.
I think was it Bathsheba?
Bathsheba, right?
It could have been.
It was
But
Bathsheba.
Salakia, the one that comes to mind, well, that was because of the interracial marriage. Never mind. Solomon with him, all the women.
Oh yeah, now Solomon's coming up too.
Okay.
Solomon was next, you know what I mean? Because Solomon I want to say just like his father, but after all the wisdom he had, I mean, he wrote the book, you know what I mean? Right. He wrote the book he wrote Ecclesiastes talking about how a woman is snares and nets. And look at him. Thousands of broads, man. You know what I mean? All type of heathen women. He wrote the book. That's crazy to me. I mean, he wrote the book. Damn, I got caught up. I mean, like T-Pain said, man, he sprung off these heathens, man.
There is this one, and I think she was doing whore activity.
Jezebel.
There she is. That's her.
Yeah. Top hoe right there, man.
You see her fate.
I know, right? Eaten by dogs.
Goodness.
You know what I mean? And what does the Bible say? A woman should be counted as a dog. I mean, that's a perfect mix, man. Jezebel, dogs, women counted as dogs. Listen, God ain't never lied, man. All right, you can keep reading. You start from the top.
Sir. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleaseth God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her.
But the sinner shall be taken by her. I'm just going to throw out a few names that we all know about. Kobe Bryant. You know what I mean? He done slept with the nastiest of the nastiest whores, man. At Esau. That dude had sex with a woman that had like 5 other men's body fluids inside of her. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't hit that, bro. Boy, you out of pocket, man. Like, come on, man. Like, why would you smack that? You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't. You know what I mean? 1 second, Ace. We got Tiger Woods. What he do? He slept with a whore. You know what I mean? Done chased him down, beat him down with a golf club, looking like a G. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Kanye West and the Kardashians. Then they took his family. God knows what they're doing over there. Go ahead, Ace. Come talking to the mic, please.
You sure you on topic?
Lil Nas X, he did some bad stuff to some children.
Lil Nas, what do you do? I don't know anything about Lil Nas X.
He's talking about what Lil Nas X said about the children when they said he was influencing kids. He said, "F them kids," because. So yeah, that's not on topic. But I appreciate you.
Con. It's all good. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Kanye West. I don't know what to say, man. He seen the Kardashian get hit on camera and said, I want that. Could it be me? You know what I mean? I don't know. Go ahead.
And if I could, brothers just have to be real careful messing with these whores, because sometimes what I see is a brother, he will not necessarily even think to be with her forever, but he sees a whore. He likes whore activity because he's going after lust, and he ends up being with the woman, falling in love with characteristics that aren't even like that. Won't be a good mother to the child, won't be a good wife to him. He falls in love and then ends up in a situation. For whoever that brother is that married Keke Palmer, like, she is showing extremely whorish activity. I just saw her drop a song on stage where she says she don't need a man. She needs a bag, and can't no man tell her what to do.
Damn.
And you got a baby with some man that's looking crazy right now. You just
Nah, listen,
Salakia.
I know, right?
one last point.
Go ahead, talk your shit.
Brothers really should consider when they see a woman. Is that a woman that you want to get pregnant and spend the rest of your life with? Because if you see a whore, that's not your first thought. So like, you know what? I want to start a family and have a baby with her. I want her in my life forever.
Mm-hmm.
She's a whore.
I know, right?
It's a lot.
And whores will have sex with other men.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't know. That's what whores do. And listen, a lot of you brothers think you got game because you talk to whores. Like, they're going to have sex with you anyway. You
Right.
don't need to spit game to whores. You don't have game. You're just a lame and a simp.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's all you are. You talk to whores. Like, you not seducing no top class chick. You know what I mean? Like, you the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? A jump off. That's what we used to call them. I still call them jump offs. You know what I mean? Like, but damn, these whores out here, and you brothers that love them. And you know what? Do y'all know? In the 90s, hey, Qual, you ever listen to Outkast?
I listened to Outkast a little bit back in the day.
You heard the song where he says, "We love these hoes"? You ain't never heard that joint?
I may have.
It goes from the weave to the fake eyes to the fake nails down to the toes. We love these hoes.
I think I have
You never heard? That's why niggas love hoes, man. We could blame it on Outkast and this terrible music. You know what I mean? Like Judah. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with Judah, man. Judah love hoes, man. Oh, man. Let's go to my next verse. I mean, oh wait, let's finish this one right here. Verse 27.
Verse 27. Behold, this have I found one by one to find out the account. Verse 28. Which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found.
It says, one man among 1,000 have I found. So this is King Solomon writing. He's talking about righteous men. He says 1 out of 1,000 he found. And you can even prove that today. Like, look around in the Isupk. Look inside an Isupk class. There's less than 20 brothers in there for some places. You know what I mean? For some time, it could just be you and a few brothers just teaching. Because that's 1 in 1,000. That's how rare and special you are. You are 1 in 1,000. You know what I mean? Go ahead, continue.
But a woman among all those have I not found.
Have you not found? So even among 1,000 women, King Solomon was like, damn, man, I can't find none of these women to do right. And look around you. I mean, find a righteous woman, you gonna be looking long and hard, brother. You know what I mean? But you stay in the truth. Because Isaiah 4:1 says that 7 women shall be drawn to 1 man. And the only thing they're going to require is your name. They're going to come with their own food and their own raiment. You know what I mean? They're going to have their own bread. You know what I mean? And because you're a priest in this school, you're going to get 7 of them. It may not be in this life, but I guarantee you in the next life, man, the reincarnation, I'm having me a lot of wives, man. I need a village where it's bond. I'm not joking either, man. I need a village. Anyway, so now let's get into a whore, right? Can you please go to Judges chapter 16 for me?
Sir.
Oh, sure, man. Talking about whores, man. I'm telling you, Israelites, we love some whores, but we gotta change that narrative. We gotta start going after righteous women. You start picking up these women and on out here, man, it's gonna lead you astray for real.
You said
Chapter 16. Yeah, we start at verse 1.
The book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 1. Then went Samson to Gaza and saw there an harlot.
He saw a who?
An harlot.
He saw a harlot. Samson, the strongest nigga at the time, right? Go ahead.
So don't that just sound just like an athlete to go get a whore?
Yeah.
Good night.
Go get a thought, you know what I mean? Go get some jump off, man. Like, goddamn, like, who's that brother that Oh man,
Zion Williamson.
okay, I wasn't. That's a good one. I wasn't thinking about him, but damn, that's the good one. I'm talking about let's just use Zion, man. He slept with Mariah.
Zion Williamson, I don't know what he did.
Oh, he slept with some porn star. I think her name Mariah.
I don't know.
He slept.
I know it's something. She's either like an exotic dancer or a porn star or
She's
something
a
like that.
certified porn star. Listen,
Night.
stripper, porn star, it's all the same, man. They having sex for money.
Right.
You know what I mean? That brother is in hell. I don't know what is wrong with her. She's a lunatic. She must have thought that she found a simp. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, whores are going to be used as whores. You can't do hoe stuff and expect a brother to wife you. Like, that's just not the reality. I mean, you might get a few simps here and there that'll say, like Kanye, look at you, you on camera, you busting it down. I mean, every brother's not like that, and you're going to find yourself looking dumb and stupid on the internet, chasing a brother who doesn't want nothing to do with you, and you'll realize that being a whore isn't that great. So after all, you can go ahead.
And Salaki, if I could, a lot of sisters now they're believing just the fact that they're getting a lot of male attention.
Uh-huh.
They might even be getting money.
Right.
That that's a good thing, and they can empower themselves by using their physicality. As far as how they look and everything. But at the end of the day, that's going to run out. They're going to end up dead and by themselves.
Absolutely.
Because after those attributes fade away and they're on, the end of their, beauty, what else do they have? No skills, no nothing. You were a whore and you're a sex worker, and nobody is going to want that from you once, you're looking like a bag of potato chips.
Exactly. Wrinkly, ugly, stinking, molding. You know what I mean? Like, you did all that, all those years. You spent your prime years. You spent your prime years, you know what I mean, being a hoe. Now you get the 35 and 40. Now you want a strong black man and this and that. You know what I mean? Now there ain't no good men left. Well, all the good men don't want you. You know what I mean? You get the roaches and the rats. What you going to say?
Salaki, you've been mentioning the word simp.
Yeah.
And that's like what is it? It's like slang.
Yep.
And if I could just read the version in Urban Area Dictionary,
absolutely,
it's perfect.
Read it with conviction.
So simp, it is when a male is overly submissive to a female and gains nothing from it. So overly submissive that other guys cringe and feel ashamed when seeing them.
Damn.
Now, that is crazy because there is a lot of us real alpha males that will see a dude being a simp and just trying to agree with everything. But now it's coming to where a lot of guys are starting to turn into simps from what I see. It's a lot of simps out there.
There's a lot, and they ruin up the game for us, man. They messing shit up. It's like it, sir.
Salak, just what y'all was just saying about the beauty and how that shit just goes away. You know what I mean? Precept in Proverbs 31:30.
Excellent.
I can't describe it. I can't describe it, but I got it right here. It says, "Favor is deceitful." You understand?
Right.
Because like, just because you got something going on for you and you seem favorable right now, that's favor is deceit. The Bible says it is deceitful. It ain't say it's kind of deceitful. It says favor is deceitful and beauty is vain. That beauty don't mean nothing.
Nothing at
because
all.
like you said, you're gonna wake up one day and you're not gonna be looking the same like you looked 20 years ago. You understand? But the Bible says, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Focus your attention on fearing the Lord and being something desirable to your husband, and which is a fearful woman of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like you'll never lose your beauty, your sex appeal, your beauty, or none of that if you focus your attention in the right areas. You understand? our women, like I said, because of Esau, because of our oppressors,
Yep.
they got them focused on these what you call them housewives of Atlanta, the basketball wives, all this other garbage, loving hip hop, all this other garbage that infiltrates our sisters' minds, that forces them to think that this is what being a good woman or being something desirable, being a catch look like.
Right.
And when it's not a catch, you're not a catch. You are not going to attract a righteous man. You're going to attract exactly what you're going to attract, which is someone that's just going to use you, throw you away right afterwards, because you're giving yourself away. You're not making yourself desire. You're not making yourself of value. You understand?
Right.
And our women today got to make themselves of value, make themselves of worth.
Absolutely. Duada, sir. Thank you very much. All right. We start from the top, from Judges 16.
The book of Judges, chapter 16. Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot,
God damn.
and went in unto her.
So he saw a harlot, you know what I mean? He looked at this hoe just sitting there and was like, you know what? I like you. Let's go. That's why I said, that's why I said before, you don't need game to spit game to a slut. You know what I mean? Like, you just go in. He just went on to her. Just walked up on her. Go ahead.
And it was told that Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, in the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him.
Go ahead.
And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors off the gate of the city.
He did what?
Took the doors off the gate of the city.
Wow. He said doors. That's plural, right? Go ahead.
And the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders.
Put on where?
Upon his shoulders.
This nigga Samson picked up. Now, I don't know if y'all know how big a door was back then. You talking about gates, man, to a city? This nigga picked one on this shoulder, one on that shoulder, and walked out the city with him. Took the gates. Now imagine you a Gazite, whoever the hell these people are. You not messing with that, man. You not messing with Samson, man. So they had to get a plan together. Keep going.
Bar and all, and put them upon his shoulders, and carried them up to the top of an hill, and that is before Hebron.
Slakia. Man, we talking about Israelites being athletic and being strong, man. This nigga Samson made his mark in history. Man, he's messing with these. He took the gates to your city and put them on top of the hill. That's gangster. That's king of the hill type shit. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. I know a lot of y'all brothers out here looking at whores. She is a Delilah to you. Keep going. And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and said unto her, entice him.
Do what?
Entice him.
Entice him. Go ahead.
And see wherein his great strength lies.
It says, see where his great strength lies, man. This is why we have to be aware of who we entertain. You might think this woman is going to come into your life and be a blessing, you know what I mean? And be like, oh, you're so pretty and this and that. But really, she's sent by the ops. You know what I mean? She's sent by a heathen nation. And they're going to use the woman because, listen, they knew they could not fight Samson. Head up, straight up, sleep, whatever. You know what I mean? He just took their door. So it's like, so they're right now, the Philistines, they sitting back and they thinking like, how can we get him? How can we get to him? Boom. I see he was with this harlot, right? This harlot was named Delilah. Hey, Delilah, go talk to him for me. Keep going.
Entice him and see wherein his strength lieth. His great strength lieth.
Hold on. And they want to know his secret to his strength. And that's, listen, man, ever since I came into the UPK, I learned not to pillow talk with my woman.
Damn right.
She is not going to know my weakness, what makes me tick.
That's right.
You don't know. I'm about to say something else. You don't know you don't know what I'm about to, you don't know, man. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep that between me and the Most High. And if you talk to the brothers around you about your weaknesses, you don't ever talk to your woman. Your woman should always see you as the man that she met. Strong, fearless, a warrior. Nothing scares you. You don't have no weaknesses. That's how she should know. That's a little sidebar, but go ahead.
And by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver. They done started giving women money. You give women money, here it come, man. OnlyFans, you give them money to be a whore, man. And this is one of the oldest tricks in the book, man. Was when your enemy trying to get you off your pivot, they'll still send you a woman, you know what I mean? And she'll be pretty, she'll be bad though. Keep going. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. Dang,
man. So Samson, he not even thinking right, man. If this woman came up to me asking me about, how do I get my great strength? I'm looking like, why you asking me this? But you know what I mean? Samson, he in love with her. So he don't see the red flags. You know what I mean? Just go ahead, man.
And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man.
Right, go to verse 9 for me.
Verse 9. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he breaks the withs as a thread of tow is broken with it, toucheth the fire. So his strength was not known. And right. Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound.
Now again, we was just reading how we just said that, this woman is here to seek out your weakness. Now he was smart for a little bit, you know what I mean? He lied to her. You know what I mean? And then when women find out that you lied to them, they be like, "Oh, you lied to me," and they put on the sad face and they start crying. You know what I mean? Like, why would you lie to me? Don't you love me? Don't you love me? You know what I mean? Why aren't you telling me the truth? You trying to get into his head. You know what I mean? Man, hold on 1 second. Let's skip down to verse 15 for me. So give a little backdrop. Delilah keeps asking him question after question. He was like, "Oh, what's your weakness? What's your weakness? What's your weakness?" You know what I mean? Because this is how whores act. They trying to get into your head. You know what I mean? Stay away from them. Go to 15.
Verse 15. And she said unto him, how canst thou say I love thee when thine heart is not with me?
She's playing mind games. She's trying to gaslight him. Does everybody know what gaslighting means?
Right.
I didn't know what it means until today. I was talking to my ex today. We was talking about stuff that happened years ago. She was like, "You're gaslighting the situation." I was like, "No, I'm not. I don't know what gaslighting means." You know what I mean? But she's the one who's gaslighting it. I mean, so other than that, I'm just like, you know what I mean? So here is Delilah gaslighting the situation. You know what I mean? Trying to manipulate him, trying to get him off his pivot. You know what I mean? Talking about, I thought you loved me. That's what women would try to do, especially a whore. You know what I mean? And that's why Ecclesiastes 7:26, we coming back to the law. You know what I mean? It's what King Solomon was talking about, man. That her hands is bands, and she snares in nets. Delilah is a snare in the net, and you brothers should stay away from these type of women, man.
That's right.
Stay on your pivot. Don't get fooled by them. Go ahead. Keep reading, please. 16.
And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death.
Right. So day after day, Delilah is in his ear. Why don't you love me? Why don't you tell me your secret? Like, nigga, you should be aware that this chick ain't for you. You know what I mean? She pressing me about the wrong stuff. I'm the strongest man on the planet right now. Like we worry about my where's my strength come from? Just be happy you here. But Samson wasn't thinking like that, man. He wasn't on his pivot. Go ahead.
Verse 17, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
Right. So now Samson finally gave up his secret. You cut my hair, I'll become weak. You know what I mean? I'll become weak. You see brothers that leave the school, they always cut their braids and their beard off, looking like an Edomite. You become weak. We become weak. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that we have like a Nazarite vow or anything, but this is what the Most High is talking about, man. Like when these women come into your life, you have to search them out, man. Like, don't be silly and be deceived by her beautiful looks. As the Ottawa Officer Mataziala brought out, you know what I mean? Beauty is deceitful. Now, I mean, you gotta stay on your pivot when you're dealing with these women, man. They out to get you. Right. The enemy is out to get you. They want to get you off your square. They are trying to come in between you and your rib, which is the Most High, which is this Bible, man. They trying to come in between that. All right. Can you read 18 and 19 for me?
And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying,
right. So now she called for the army. You know what I mean? Now she like, yo, he finally gave up his weakness. He finally told me with all his heart, I believe him this time. You know what I mean? And that's how women do. You sit there, you get yourself caught up. You thinking that she love you, man. And she's setting you up the whole time. Now you let your guard down. Now she called her peoples in there. You know what I mean? Skip down to verse 19 for me.
Verse 19. And she made him sleep upon her knees.
Where?
Upon her knees.
Man, she put that nigga right on her lap. She said, go to sleep just like this, man. Samson thought he was in heaven. You know what I mean? But little did he know death was waiting for him, man. Keep going.
And she called Salakia. And she called for a man. And she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him.
Right.
And his strength went from him.
All right, we can stop right there. So, Slakia, at the end of all that, they cut his hair off and he lost his strength, man. Moral of the story is, don't give up your strength to these women, man. Stay on your pivot. Do not be like Samson. Like we said, these stories we can read in Romans 15 and 4, man. Get it from me, Romans 15 real quick. Yeah, I forgot the verse. I don't want to misquote. I want to read it verbatim.
1 second, I'll just look it up here to get it real quick. The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
Right.
That we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope.
Right, man. So this is why Samson's story is in here. So we can read about it and we can be aware of the Delilah that will try to pop up in your life, man. You know what I mean? They be out here lurking, trying to get you off your pivot, man. All right. So now we talked a lot about whores and stuff, but let's talk about what a righteous woman is. Can you give me Proverbs 31?
Sir.
So brothers, stay away from whores, man.
And you said Proverbs 31?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's Proverbs 31.
Verse 1?
Nah, we are going to start at verse 10. 1 sec. Let me get there real quick. No, let's start at verse 3. You read when you get it.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings.
Now, this is the first question that I ever asked General Muhammad years ago. I asked him, what is the strength that you give to a woman? And it says, it's your ability to serve God, to pick your God. That's the strength, you know what I mean? As the man, you are in charge, you know what I mean? And this was very heavy for me because I grew up mostly around women, unfortunately, you know what I mean? I grew up I was in the female, most of the time in my life, it was a female church, you know what I mean? Woman pastor and all that stuff. So I had to really break free from this, you know what I mean? And not to give my strength unto women. I choose my God. You know what I mean? My mother don't do it. My grandma, the women in my life, I choose my God. You know what I mean? I don't give my strength to women. You know what I mean? I don't fall like Adam. I look at Adam, Samson, and Delilah. I look at all the examples, Solomon, King David. You know what I mean? Don't give your strength unto women, man.
Right.
Nor thy ways which this ways that destroy king. Now we can go. Now let's jump down to verse 10, because I know a lot of Christian women talk about how they're a virtuous woman, talking about how they are a virtuous woman and stuff like that, and wife and stuff like this. You know what I mean? But what really is a virtuous wife? You know what I mean? And the Christian pastor doesn't know what that is. Christian pastor doesn't know what it is. Can you start at verse 10 for me?
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman?
Mm-hmm.
For her price is far above rubies.
Her price is far above rubies, man. You can't pay $4.99 to see her box. You know what I mean? This ain't OnlyFans, man. You feel me? You can't pay to see her. It says her price is far above her rubies, man. Now let's read some, so if you're a woman out there and you want to think that you're a virtuous wife, this is a good checklist for you to look. This is a good checklist for you to see if you meet the requirements of a virtuous wife. Now you can read through them all. Let's just go through a couple of them real quick. Let's go to verse 11.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 11. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil.
It says that he shall have no need of spoil. So if your husband don't trust you, I mean, listen, he have no need of spoil. What is spoil? Robbing. You know what I mean? He don't got to be a gangster. He got to do B&Es no more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he don't got to do that. He don't got to move like that no more because he trusts in you. Let's go to verse 14.
Verse 14. She is like the merchant's ships.
Uh-huh.
She bringeth her food from afar.
Damn.
She rises.
Hold on, that's a merchant ship, man. That's like trading, commerce. You know what I mean? Buying and selling. You know what I mean? A woman that's busy doing work. Go to verse 15 for me.
Verse 15.
Uh-huh.
She riseth also while it is yet night.
She does what?
Riseth also while it is yet night.
Uh-huh. Everybody sleep. Go ahead.
And giveth meat to her household.
To her household. Now imagine your wife sitting home sleep. You come home, you know what I mean? You tell her, get up, I'm hungry. She should get her ass up. That's what the Bible just said. You know what I mean? Like, she got a problem serving you. Read what the Bible said. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
This verse is heavy because on two parts. Number one of my friends in the world, their mother was pretty much like they call it like a homemaker. She was a stay-at-home mom.
Uh-huh.
She kept that house top to bottom.
Absolutely.
And she cooked as well as that and the fourth.
Uh-huh.
And I remember there were times when we were still young, but we was like in our early teens, like 18, 19,
mm-hmm.
and then like 21. And then we would be out all night. We come home like 4 a.m. and stay at his house in his basement. Mom Dukes is literally coming down the stairs and washing clothes and getting stuff ready at 4 a.m.
Exactly.
And the other side of that is these brothers saw that. Well, one of them saw that and still decided to mess with whores.
Damn.
And ruin his life.
That's man. He hard. Israel hard-headed, man. Was he a Judite?
Absolutely.
Oh man, I got scripture for him. I don't know if he's going to get there in time though. But yeah, man, shout out to, I mean, your friend's mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look, man, she's down there cooking. She's doing what women's supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? Listen, go when the men come home and we hungry, it's your job to get up and cook. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I was talking to at my slavery, right? There's like this lady from like the Philippines. You know what I mean? And she was telling me how she took a 3 days off her vacation time from work just so she could cook and clean in the house. That's it. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking like, damn. And she's still working, by the way, you know what I mean? Because I hear so many women talking about men wanting us to cook, clean, and work at the house and stuff like that. I'm like, but this woman has been doing it for years. You know what I mean? This heathen doing it. You know what I mean? She got no problem doing it. She enjoyed doing it. And she worked just like y'all do. So really, there's no excuse. Y'all just lazy.
Right.
Which goes to the next verse, man. Let's go to verse 27.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 31, verse 27. She looketh well to the ways of her household.
Right, and we just talked about that when Carl just gave the perfect example. You know what I mean? She up cooking, cleaning 4 o'clock in the morning, making sure everything is good. Go ahead.
And eateth not the bread of idleness.
Right, and eateth not the bread of idleness, man. Like, sometimes tell you want to be a virtuous wife, don't be idle. Busy doing something, man. Talking about going to the merchant ship, bringing food from afar. You know, you better have an online business or something, getting me money from across the sea, selling, you know what I mean, selling whatever you do. And these are the traits of a virtuous woman. You know what I mean? Because women don't read all this. They always talking about the men supposed to be the provider and this, you know what I mean, making all the money. But here the Bible is talking about you making money. You know what I mean? You cooking and cleaning. You doing everything to keep the household, right? I don't know what to say, man. Just like we said at the beginning of the class, you know what I mean? The teachers, the doctrines of men.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to get rid of that. Go ahead, sir.
It's like it's the miseducation of us. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
They miseducate us so that we're backwards. We're upside down. Like the Bible talks about how the world is out of course. Like that we call evil good and good evil,
right,
and whatnot. And this is and we got to put this Proverbs chapter 31 in real. We got to focus in on who's speaking here. This is his mother giving this king this advice, right, and schooling him and putting him down on game as to what he should be looking for in a woman, right, and the virtues
I didn't think about
stuff that he should be looking for in a woman.
Right. Sir?
That's heavy right there.
Yeah.
This is coming from a woman. Like we gotta really be aware of who are our advisors and who we're getting our instruction and who's in our ear. You understand? You gotta be aware of who's giving you your advice, who's counseling you. You understand? Because they're not gonna count. Like every counselor, the Bible talks about in Ecclesiasticus how they counsel. You got to watch how you grab those counselors, because some of them counsel for their own need. You know what I mean? They're gonna lead you astray. You understand? But this mother here, she really loved her son. You understand? And she gave it to him straight, no chaser. So lucky.
Yeah, the water, sir. That's a heavy point. That's coming from his mother. As you saying, that is coming from his mother. His mother's putting him on game. Damn right. You want a woman who is not lazy. Now, I mean, that's going to go get you some money. I wasn't taught that by my mother.
Right.
I was taught, man, you better work, pay all the bills.
Right.
Man, F that. You know what I mean? Work 30 years. I gotta look at a woman. She's the prize. You know what I mean? I gotta pay for everything. You know what I mean? And what you give me, sex. Ooh-wee. You know what I mean? Little dried up box. Hell nah. All right, give me We're gonna wrap it up here because I know Commander Johnny Hanna has a show, and I don't want to hold everybody too long, man. He got a show tonight talking about World War III.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. Tonight. He's talking about what? He's talking about it. Let's go to Ephesians 5:22. You know what I mean? I had so many scriptures I wanted to get to, not enough time. Oh man, there's a couple of them in here.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands.
Unto what?
Unto your own husbands.
Right.
As unto the Lord.
As unto the Lord.
Right.
Damn. Ooh, this is a cut for women. You know what I mean? Man, you brolic women are want to be in charge so bad. You want to be the head so bad. It says, what's your point? It says, submit yourselves unto your own, as unto the Lord. Golly. As unto God, woman. Stupid broad. That's, you know what I mean? That man sleeping next to you, that's God right there. You listen to everything he says. And listen, you women have it so easy. All you have to do is listen to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta go out and go to war or nothing.
Right.
You sit home, cook, work, you know what I mean? Hang out with your girlfriends every now and again. Make food. You don't gotta put your life on the line for nothing. You gotta sit there. We put our lives on the line. And that's all the more reason why you should continue to respect us even more as the man of the house, at the head of the household. You know what I mean? When a man is going to willing to live and die for you, you should give him all the respect. Just be quiet, keep your mouth shut. I know I don't want to sound too rough, but you know what I mean? Some of y'all need a rough check-in. You know what I mean? Just keep your mouth shut, lay low, be happy. You know what I mean? And your man will take care of it. You know what I mean? But Esau got y'all messed up. You know what I mean? So we keep going. Yeah, I'm gonna throw one more in there. I'm gonna give you that verse with Judah. Hold on, my thing's attached over here. You need Genesis chapter 38, man. Tell me, man, Judites love hoes, man. I was just reading this joint by accident. Found it.
Genesis 38.
Yeah. Let me get there real quick. Find out what verse is that. It's about Judah, you know what I mean? The 12 tribes of Israel. I'm a Judite, of course. You know what I mean?
While you get there, also like this.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I did want to read something that you reminded me of in Proverbs.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Most definitely. Bring it out.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 22. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout.
Damn.
So is a fair woman which is without discretion.
That's heavy. You know what I mean? You a jewel in a pig snout. You covered in pig snot. You know what I mean? Like you a diamond ring looking like a booger. You know what I mean? Nasty as hell. You know what I mean? Like, god damn. That's what happens when you have no discretion, woman. God damn. Like, put some clothes on and keep your mouth shut and stay out the way. Listen, this is the Most High calling you these things. Y'all talking about God all love, man. You better check what the Bible's really saying about y'all and how some of y'all women act sometime. Read that verse again.
Sir. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman without discretion.
Fair woman without discretion, man. Go ahead.
Going on Facebook, putting all your business out.
Hell yeah,
no
man.
discretion whatsoever.
Out of pocket, yo. For real, man. And these women think it's funny too. They think it's a game out here. But the Most High, listen, the Bible says God is not mocked. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a woman and you understand this Bible and you've been reading this Bible, the Bible says God is not mocked. You're going to get punishment for doing something against the law. You know what I mean? You breaking the law, you going against your husband, you are going to get punished.
Right.
That is guaranteed to happen. Matter of fact, let's drop the Judah verse. Let's go to Corinthians real quick. I think it is where it says God is not mocked. Galatians 6 and 7. And then we'll go to Corinthians and finish it off. Let's get up out of here, man. I ain't trying to hold y'all too long.
And that was Galatians.
Yeah, 6 and 7. I know y'all tired of hearing my cracky voice.
Nah, you too wild, sir. The book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 7.
Right?
Be not deceived.
Go ahead.
God is not mocked.
Right?
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Damn, that's heavy, man. God is not mocked. What's the punishment for adultery? Death.
Hey.
You know what I mean? I pray y'all women don't die out here, man. You know what I mean? Especially when you come against the righteous, man. It's not worth it. My last verse, man. Give me I got on my phone here, Corinthians 7:15. The Bible says God is not mocked, man.
It's a lot here, so you said.
Corinthians 7:15. 1 Corinthians 7 and 15.
Sir, I'm there, ready to read.
Go ahead.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7, verse 15. But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart.
Let him depart. That's also for the women too. You know what I mean? If you're a woman and you have a man in the world, if he wants to depart, let him depart. You know what I mean? Same thing as a man. If your woman wants to leave, let her leave. Bye. That's what I told my rib like a year and a half ago. She wanted to leave. I said, bye. I'll find another woman. You know what I mean? And I'll be righteous about it because the Most High said 7 women shall be drawn to one man.
Right.
7 of them. What? You making room. That's all. You a headache anyway. Bye. Keep going.
A brother or a sister is not under bondage in such cases.
Right.
But God hath called us to peace.
God has called us to peace. And that's all it is. It's about being peace. You know what I mean? We'll let the Most High handle you. You know what I mean? I don't gotta do nothing extra. I mean, it's sad sometimes, but you know what I mean? Things happen. Women leave, men leave, people leave. You know what I mean? But we stay true to this Bible. You know what I mean? We stay true to the Most High. And with that, we'll turn the class over to Priest and Officer Call.
This is Isupk security announcements. New rules for brothers and new sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a